viewers, my name's Torinski and welcome back to another DCSS Sunday. Today we're going to be jumping right back in with our Spriggan character who was going alright. We definitely had a whole lot of close calls, had to use up a bunch of our exceptionally valuable consumables just to save ourselves from an early grave, but we're still alive and that's all that really matters at the end of the day. So let's get ready to hop in here with good old Save It on the Shelf, and hopefully we can do this character some justice and make it through the final part of the game. We've already collected 2 runes, just need to snag a 3rd, and then hopefully find some way of grabbing the Orb of Zot and getting out of here in one piece. We'll have to see how it goes. In general, things were looking pretty good on the skills front here. Everything was sitting at a pretty decent spot. We were definitely starting to train a whole lot of magic. In fact, where was translocations going? Oh, it was just about there, just a 15. That was in order to cast Dispersal here. Since last week when we were actively on here, I have also been thinking a lot about different avenues that we can take with this character. Trying to get statue form, I know it was something that we talked about explicitly last time we were here. So that would be train some transmutations, potentially even some earth magic as well, which isn't as great of an aptitude, but this transmutation score could get cranked up pretty quickly with a +3. We just have to go find some places to gain some experience, probably go through vaults a little bit. Might have to play it a wee bit safer than we have been over the last few characters, just because we are in a little bit of a dodgy place, ready to get one shot out of thin air any day now. But we'll have to see how all that side of things goes. Another important thing to note here is that this floor has Boris on it, I believe, right? It does indeed, so let's be very careful not to immediately encounter that son of a gun. Not exactly how we want to start off our lovely day here. It'd be nice to stay a little bit safer. So with that in mind, I think we can head down. Why was I not wearing these fairy scales yet? I like the regen off of these probably. So it might be nice to gain that AC bonus. Dexterity. Resistance to corrosion is one of the few things that we don't actively have on us at all times now as well. Let's put this on just for the time being, and then we'll see how it fits, see how it feels, and maybe switch back to our old armor. It's definitely a bit of an eyesore. We're in an eclectic mix of colors in terms of our overall fashion sense here, but I'm sure it'll sort itself out by the time we are escaping out of here. Hey man, we looking for a rune? We are just about to be. We're gonna finish off depths here first. Then we'll have to decide if we want to go straight for 3rd rune, or if we want to explore around, maybe pick up some experience here or there, get something or another castable, because for a 3rd rune, it's likely that we go to the Abyss. We're on a sneaky character. It's kind of painful on a character using a ranged weapon, because all the time that you spend picking up your various ammunitions gives enough time for new spawns to come in, so that's never great. But we do have apportation, so we could just quickly snag everything out of thin air, hightail it out of there, but we'll have to see in just a bit here. For now, let's continue with the old school exploration here. Let's see what we can find. My end friend should be able to take you on, especially if we kite a little bit. Maybe kiting was a bad idea. Oh my gosh. Spriggan's up the wazoo. Not the good kind either, seeing as how I'm the only good one here. But everyone should have followed us around, so now we can loop back. Under some danger from this berserker, but that's fine. Let's take them upstairs. Or not. That's cool. They don't have to come with, I guess. Very neat. Do we have any stairs here? We do not. Oh no, they're all in Boris territory. Oof. Well, fortunately, the last time we saw Boris was down below on this level, so maybe we can get a little sneaky here. Creepy crawl our way in here. Can also pick up some sling bullets, which we are in desperate need of. And let's see if this stairwell bodes any better. Potentially. Eden didn't shout this time around. Oh, but turns out it doesn't matter. We still gather quite the welcoming party here. Let's take them all back to our stair. And beautiful. The fact that the flayed ghost is that there next works out fantastic. Where did our Eden friend go? There you are. Hello. Or not. Goodbye. Oh, I was afraid of this. This buddy's hard to hit. Also is faster than us. One of the few berserkers that can actually keep up with us in an open sprint. Wait, one more check on that. What are your numbers like? 27 damage plus your hand axe? So I don't believe we're in one-shot territory. That's always nice. That's always good. Let's maybe take this son of a gun upstairs. And then our easiest bet is something like Ice Blast because it's undodgeable, so we can just hope this takes him out in a couple of hits here. Do we have any alternatives that we might want to explore before then? We could try something like a Curari Dart. But let's see what the odds of hitting. Actually, that's better than I expected, 61%. I was ready for that to be like low 20s or something like that. Let's throw one. Oh, and we do hit. So now you're slow and fast, which means we might be able to just barely outpace you. Maybe go the same speed. Ooh, and now it runs out. So we try and throw another one and it doesn't work. Such a shame, too bad. There we go. Now our Spriggan friend is slowed. They did just bring in a Berserking Elephant at the ideal moment to kind of mess with us. But that's fine. We'll just do 2 quick blasts. Take care of that dang Berserker. Hopefully we didn't make too much noise, called down the attention of one forever regenerating Lich Lord. No promises though. And for now, just need to take on this fight after all. No idea where the Jingshi came from, but here we are. Okay, slightly scarier than I would like. Come on, there we go. Beauty. Down to 1 Curari Dart as well, I believe. Yeah, we definitely mulched one in that encounter, but hey, it got us the room we needed to survive, so that's a-okay. Now we can just head back down. And I guess we could have tried to do something like Enslaved Soul. Let's animate dead. Is there anything here? No, there's nothing here. Where did this elephant come from? Just conjured out of thin air. A madly berserk elephant. One of the greatest of all magic tricks. But let's take you upstairs. Hopefully you don't smash us too hard. Beauty. Now we have all the kite room we could so desire. So let's take this son of a gun for a bit of a roll, shall we? I have to be careful how quickly I do this because I wouldn't be surprised if Boris came and found us. Ooh, also kind of a missed opportunity to actually try and kill that Eden downstairs and get a good body on our side. But hey, I'm sure there will be more chances as we go here. So you friends, should I use something like Ice Blast or try my luck here? 9% chance to hit. Don't love those odds. Not fantastic. So let's do it. At least use up a few charges of this, and then we'll finish off the old-fashioned way. Perfect. Thought for a moment that we'd be made to eat our words, but here we are. And unfortunately, in kind of a similar boat, we only have 3 charges left. At least we know that we've killed the Enchantress, so we don't need to save them specifically for that. We can afford to waste a couple here. And then my zombie and I as a team can do the rest of the work. Come on, buddy. In fact, I should be aiming this way so that if I miss the first Spriggan, I have chances of hitting the second. Much better. Oh my gosh, and there we go. There are all the bodies that we've been missing. Just need to kill a few mounted beasts, and what did you know? Unfortunately, no body on the buddy there, hey? I was hoping for some giant's bodies along the way. Maybe this one will be the opportunity to do so. Though I'm not excited for these paralyzing wasps, this is potentially going to hurt quite badly. Hey Shaper, how's it going? You don't remember if I ever won Spriggan before? Not in any recent memory for sure. Trying to think back if I've ever won Spriggan. Potentially not, because I did mostly play them when I first started and haven't really had an opportunity to get back into the full swing of things. So that we might be going for first here. Oh nice, and the fire giant did in fact leave a body behind. Still haven't quite solved the mystery of why the fire and frost giants get to keep their weapons, but I'm not going to complain because it's definitely going to help us out in the long run here. I definitely can't afford to lose too much more ammunition to lava and the like, so I think we're going to have to bring these buddies with us to start off. And now we're in a slightly safer location to start firing off on our end. Don't you dare kill my fire giant, please. Please, sir, I need this. Even stepping in like this doesn't help it necessarily, because giant, or the dragon rather, is just going to use frost breath, go right through us. Yep. Gosh darn it. How dare you. Not at all appropriate. Even though ideally the school stays alive. That's the next target on our please don't die list. Because they are a permanent spawn, we can bring them in to any of the levels where we need help. It definitely helps out a huge amount to keep them in a good spot. Hey, come back here, coward. Nice little fight to spot where we can always retreat back across the lava. That's good. You're working on your first Spriggan win currently, Shaper? You really don't groove with Spriggan so far? You like Mummy much better? They're definitely an interesting playstyle, and they can be quite painful to get up and running, to say the least. We've been very lucky to even get this far in our first attempt, I feel, because it was in no way guaranteed. And it's been a bit of a struggle the entire time, to say the least. Let's back up and switch off so that we're not taking quite as much fire. Safe it, are we reanimating other Sprigs? Mom did always tell us to make new friends. And in my experience, the easiest way to make new friends is to bring up simulacra of the dead that are forced to be your friends. Don't see anything wrong with that. Especially when we're desperate here, but hopefully, speaking of bodies reanimating, hopefully we got a decent number of troll bodies. 3. Not great, but a little bit of a force behind us here at least. Just switch back to boomerangs. Yeah, well, Spriggans at one point were my favorite species because I found them very, very fun and interesting, specifically to play as berserkers back in the day. I don't think I still hold the same feelings in my heart of hearts. I think I've kind of fallen off the Spriggan bandwagon, and I no longer enjoy them quite as much as I once did. Though they obviously have their advantages for sure. If you enjoy playing the kiting game a lot, you can see it being a whole lot of fun to play as a Spriggan, because they do offer you the best opportunity to be able to do so. If you're playing in older versions, I guess centaurs are still around, but these days, if you want to be faster than your enemies, there's only one shot to go about it with. But onwards we go. In fact, before we go too much further, so not onwards we go, let's hold on a minute. I do want to check out our skills, because we did discuss briefly at the start of the day here that we wanted to shop around a bit. So I do feel that getting statue form active would be really nice. Any of these characters that don't have access to wearing most armors, but also who are missing any body slots, gain huge advantages from statue form, because Or rather, I guess maybe it's more accurate to say that they have less disadvantages than your regular character, because you don't have to worry about melding your very important gloves into your body or anything like that. So it seems pretty nice. The slow speed of statue form kind of cancels out the advantage of our own quick-footedness, but for good reason. The other thing that we potentially want to train towards is maybe getting invocations up there. One thing that I didn't pay enough attention to last time around when we were here is that Enslaved Soul has a duration that is affected by invocations. So we've been having a hard time getting this to work very well because we just can't kill things fast enough. So unless we have a veritable army at our side to doggy pile on top of a strong enemy, not great chance of this working out. But with higher invocations, we'd have more time to do so. Could definitely see that working out for us. I'd like to get another permanent soul at our side here. So let's potentially start pursuing both those. I'm going to turn transmutations on. Training this will give us statue form, but it also will give us access to something like Irradiate, potentially. A really good source of solid damage and AoE around us. Could go a huge way. Let's train this up to somewhere like 12. We'll see how long that takes with a +3 aptitude and the current level of experience. And then last but not least, let's also throw invocations back on, bring it to 16, and see how that affects things on the other side of the coin. I also didn't realize quite how effectively we are able to use boomerangs. We probably should have been doing this for the last while, if just to prevent from using up all of our sling bullets once we discovered just how effective the punk sling was for us. So now anytime we can get away with it, I'll probably be trying this out. This might not be one of those times though. First Draconians we come up against. Let's maybe be a little thoughtful about how we pursue our goals here. Not too bad all in all, and a really nice source of bodies as well. So let's raise those. Okay, turns out there was only one, but still not bad. It's a start. You want an army of followers, you do in fact have to start somewhere. Let's head behind here so that the yak doesn't keep hitting us with ranged. That seemed like a bad mix. And there you have it. I'm willing to lose a couple of bolts here, and then now we'll switch over to doing F period to make sure that we're firing at the feet of the dragon here. Nothing's gonna pull on through and land directly into the lava pool. Would be nice. Oh, my draconian friend. Here we're gonna move, try and protect our followers a little bit, not align or not set up the entire beam shot to hit every one of us at the same time. And yet, here we are. Was not accounting for the bounce, my bad. Let's try this again. There we go. And one of the few times that we're not too concerned about the gold dragon. Please don't kill my ghoul. Thank you. We'll lose a few bolts here. Think I'm okay with this. Don't really want to use boomerangs against a golden dragon. Might not quite get the job done quickly enough to work in our favor. But please don't hit my minions. Oh no, my minion. Stop it. Everyone, stop hitting my babies. Poor squad. There we go. There's our entrance to Zot. Line this up so that we can all hit, preferably. Beautiful. Hey! There we go. Finally get a gold dragon body to raise on our own. And that should be just about it for depths here. And then the time for decision making for questions will come. We'll have to decide what we wish to do there. Mighted and hasted? I don't really want to fight you. If I run away, you're gonna murder my whole team. Okay, that works. Thought I'd try one shot because we had the Vampire Knight on the other side to help pitch in with some damage, and turns out I'm glad that we did. That should do the trick. Absolutely fantastic. Oh no. Never mind. We're in danger. An entire line of units was getting absolutely destroyed. I need to stop saying, now we're fine. Now we're in a good spot. I think that's where we're truly dooming ourselves today, apparently. One of the few times in life that you really don't want even a modicum of comedic timing in your wheelhouse. Oh, hey, would you look at that? That was a demon trident of distortion, and I wasn't paying attention. Oh no. But hey, maybe it's kind of a good thing. We were potentially coming down here for the rune. We're halfway there already. We just need to find one more staircase down to Abyss 3. It's gonna be a little bit sketchy with no blink scrolls, no heal wounds potions. Yeah, when I start summing stuff up, it just kind of makes the overwhelming picture a little drearier, does it not? That's fine. And read this immediately, and we'll throw it on our buckler. Let's take manual control here, so we're not retreading the same ground, just constantly re-exploring the same area over and over. Of course, that's what we first run into here. Fun. Hey Railbird, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to the show this evening. I know, are we playing Trunk? No, not at the moment. We are currently still playing in, let's switch over to our Corrosive Sling, shall we? But in version 0.27 still here. So none of the new changes to Hells, none of the new changes to Red yet. We're taking this as an opportunity to get in a final play session with the deity before the changes make their way over to main branch here. And it's honestly one of the first times I've ever even played this deity, so it's been a lot of fun to tweak with the formula, figure things out here. Now I'm gonna try this out. This is actually my first time using apportation for this use, but I've definitely heard that this is a good way to use it here in the Abyss. Hello, my friend. You know what, you didn't see us? Let's just walk this way. You son of a gun. Of course, there's something this way. At least whites aren't exactly troublemakers. We should be okay. Phantasmal Warrior, thank you, Red. Alright, okay. Yeah, Abyss lost to XP lately. Oh, interesting. Slightly worse off if you're using it as a source of XP. Oops. There we go, that's what I was trying to do. If you're using it to farm experience and as an infinite source of resources, it's a little bit less useful for that. It's very interesting. Definitely used it quite a lot on some of my previous characters, especially when food was still around. I had to use the Abyss constantly to work my way towards having meals for the future, for sure. Wish there were more things that made bodies here in the Abyss, because we could get quite the force on our side, but that's fine. Ooh, and this time we get a permanent mutation. Oof. And this is one that I've always looked down on them in the past. I've never really worried too much about deterioration. Whatever, a little bit of rot damage. What's it gonna do to you? But we learned just what it's capable of on our last character with Jin here. If you missed that, it was an absolute nightmare of being in the collapse status effect where we have 0 strength. And it was a bit of a rough time. Bit of a dark time in our past runs here. So if we can avoid that this time around, that might be nice. Getting banished is even more harsh than it was. Yeah, Egley, you lost a run in Abyss while playing Drunk and it was miserable? Oh no. That's exactly what we needed. The Abyss to be even scarier than it already is. Yeah, that change is going to impact your 15 rune games. Exactly, that's where you end up doing most of your Abyss scumming, to say the least. +7 hunting sling. I mean, we're not going to use it, but that's pretty nice. Also, just to make myself feel sad and bad, let's see what these boots do. Ah, never mind. We don't need these boots at all. That's awesome. was expecting it to be every single resistant we've been short of over the entirety of this run up until this point, but would you look at that? Beautiful. Okay, for the freezing wraith, I probably do have to switch over to my sling. Apparently they're just going to run away though, so never mind. But in fact, let's just encourage that kind of behavior and we'll head the other direction. There we go, we see a gateway leading deeper into the abyss. So here's where we're making our decision. Do we want to fight our way out of here, or do we feel like risking it? Do we think we can go through and find ourselves with the third rune? Okay, never mind. We're not at that point yet. This is just going to be a moment. A few more fights to finish. Oh, we have 2 Phantasmal Warriors. Who knew? Ouch. Force Lance hitting real hard here. Can definitely back ourselves into a slightly better corner. This is exactly what you didn't want to see here. But ideally, we're not out of it yet. We're still regenerating health faster than we're losing it with our high dodge, so that's always nice. Just have to finish these sons of guns off, pick up all of our bolts. Hopefully we don't get teleported out of here before we have the opportunity. Fantastic. Rakshasa. This is one fight you should never have taken part in. We weren't double regen? Our amulet must regen, right? It does indeed. Okay. I guess we were wearing double regen. Now we're down to just a single source of it after switching our armor to the Fairy Dragon scales, but everything makes a lot more sense as to how we're staying in such a healthy spot. I'm very happy that we ended up going the Abyss route. I guess, though it wasn't on purpose this time around, we were already hypothesizing that this was going to be the best spot for our third rune. It definitely feels like it with those realizations after the fact. Regen being exceptionally useful for the Abyss in particular, of course. There we go. Jeez Louise. Quickly go through picking up all of these. Oh no. Never mind. We have to switch to our corrosive fling and hope that this goes alright here. We don't gain too many temporary mutations or get force slammed. Jeez Louise. All of which would be bad. You know what? I need some bodies. Come, my lightning hounds. Join me. Hopefully we can get through this fight in one piece. I mean, this is a decent little testing round to see how we fare against Dread Liches, since we will be running into quite a few of them. As long as we have sling bullets, I think we'll be okay. Okay, come on. There we go. Oh me, oh my. We are on top of a gateway out. So now the game's really forcing us to make the decision with all of the pieces in play. Do we want to head further down immediately here? Or head back up to the regular dungeon and finish off what we were currently working on? We were just about done Depths 5. We could probably use a slightly more clear inventory before coming back here as well. Let's quickly snatch all of the ammunition we can here. We can even grab the fog scroll while we're at it. A, B, C. Let's just pick it all up. I think we're leaving some bolts behind, but that's okay. And we'll leave for now, but we will be back, of course. Maybe sooner rather than later, depending on how things go with this this fiend buddy here. I guess Hell Knight. There we go. That's their appropriate title. We could keep fighting here, but I just realized that something like Blink might be better, or, ooh, this could be our first use of Dispersal. Let's try it out for size, shall we? It must have failed because we don't have the status effect, but that's fine. Just go back to slapping away with our ice crossbow. In fact, we can let the entire squad take over here. I didn't realize that we're still sick, which is not great. We're always under danger of getting firebolt sent our way from the Hell Knights as well. Who's killing my ghoul? Huh. Apparently ghoul took care of the problem with them, not with themselves, but by themselves rather. Not too shabby here. Finally get rid of that 6 status. Oh, my Raiju pal. Just dealt with all of your siblings. And there we go. So now we can think about heading back to the Abyss under our own volition this time, instead of being forced there in a slightly rough circumstance. My biggest concern, of course, was that if we had gone the rune, could have happened no problem. But then if there was a bit of shady circumstances as we tried our best to pick it up, we might have found ourselves in a bit of a tough spot upon exiting the Abyss directly into a fight. So sometimes it's definitely nice to have a bit more control over our circumstances. And with that in mind, what do we wish to do here? Do we want to head back to Abyss on our own? Probably before then, we want some experience. Because I do think I want a few more things castable here, a few more skills brought up just a smidge more before we head into the end game. So with that in mind, Vaults is probably going to be our best bet. Let's head there now and at least take a peek, right? Where's the harm? Besides the obvious, because it could definitely go poorly for us. Huh. I swear I said Vault 0, and it for some reason took me up this stair. That's very interesting. Might have had a bit of a weird syntax situation there. But that is a-okay. So I want an army at my side to start this off. We could get locked down here, so maybe this was actually some very poor planning. In fact, I think we will need to bring our friends in. Oh, I do have an enslaved soul. Oh, Marjorie's still around. I feel like this is the 3rd time that I've completely forgotten about Marjorie. Hello. Let's stop the recall there. I'm happy with just a couple of allies for the time being. Okay, very happy with that. Oh my gosh, Marjorie, you're killing it. You're doing great. Holy moly. I mean, I knew I'd be happy with her by my side, but I was not aware of the sheer amount of AoE that we'd be slapping down on these sons of guns. Not too shabby here. In fact, I should almost go park Marjorie again so that we don't lose her, because that will definitely come in handy later. So we'll run to the stairs, we'll wait for everyone to catch up, and we'll just tell them to guard here and take our new army along for the ride, shall we? Probably a shapeshifter if I had to guess. Oh no, an actual redback, huh. Marge is glaring daggers at me. Oh yeah, so sorry to forget about you over and over again. I hopefully made up for it partially with the praise that we threw her direction, because, I mean, it was definitely deserved, but... Oh my gosh. Okay, no, we're gonna have to run away from this one for a little bit. Not going quite as well as I might have liked. We also lost the entirety of our little army here, which is not great. Oh, it's because we're corroded -12. Ah. That's probably a good thing to pay attention to. Maybe, just maybe. There we go. That's much better. Now we should just be able to take you down. So confused as to why we took such a huge hit, but that is completely fair. Completely fair and balanced. Totally my bad. Jeez Louise. Well, back on the road with that in mind. Let's actually pay attention to our corrosion rating, shall we? As soon as I find myself with resist corrosion, I just get so overconfident. That's never a great thing in games like these. Also, this is a horrible spot, so I'm gonna back up. The Ironbound Preserver, of course, deals extra damage when we're near those walls. That's quite horrifying. And there's no real need for us to deal with it the hard way when we can instead just bring them around here and take them up to the party that's awaiting them right on this floor. Absolutely fantastic. We'll abuse this just a little bit here in order to regain what shaky footing we were barely managing to scrabble for before. There we go. Invoker is a bit of a pain. Oh my gosh, especially when they get it off. One hit away, I very much had high hopes that we'd be able to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat there, but that's fine. Just have to run up and heal up here. Oh, hello. I forgot that we still had skeletal warriors that we left lying around. This was from pre-crossbow days when we still just had a tiny little baby sling that did absolutely nothing to those sons of guns. What a world we live in now. But there we go. Definitely makes the fight a whole lot easier when we can keep bringing them upstairs with us. In fact, we'll do it again here. Also very happy to get a profane servitor on our side. Next up, if we're lucky, I would very much enjoy seeing some bone dragons, because I feel like it's been too long since we had those buddies at our side. But that is hopefully just around the corner. Wouldn't that be nice? Also, hello Brain, thank you so much for the raid. Hello raiders, hope you're all having a fantastic day. Hope your stream went well, Brain. Thanks for coming our way here. We're just playing some Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, hopefully getting out of the dungeon in one piece with our Spriggan here. It's going to be a little bit tight. We have very little health. We're running low on a lot of crucial consumables, but I'm sure we'll make it work one way or another and have some fun while we're at it. Hello, Captain Adonis. Thanks for coming in with the raid, I would assume. Yes, hope it all went well, and thank you so much for the follows from the raiders as well. Captain Adonis and Butcher Beard, I appreciate it very much. Thank you so much for joining in on the raid in the first place and for showing some support. Absolutely adore it. If you haven't played the game before, this is a very classic roguelike dungeon crawler here. Quite difficult at times, can be decently frustrating as well, but we try our best to just have a lot of fun here. And we're currently in a series where we're trying to get a victory with every single species in the game, so we're about halfway through the list. Getting interesting as we get to some of the trickier people to pilot here, the trickier characters to pilot, but going pretty well, all things considered. Yeah, what were you playing today, Brain? Before the rage. And you have right, yeah, this is namesake of Safid here. Since Safid was the one who suggested the combination for our start here. And I mean, it's definitely conveyed a lot of luck. Taking Safid's name has helped out a great deal because I never expected this character to get very far on first try. Thought we'd accidentally murder off a few little fairy elf buddies before we managed to see some level of success whatsoever. Yet here we are, things are going pretty well. You were playing Icarus multiplayer? Nice, that's another one that I still need to check out myself sometime. I've watched a little bit of, I believe actually your VODs playing it, and I enjoy those multiplayer survival games a lot. It is successful run around the whole map and extracted lots of exotics. Nice, that's awesome. Glad things were going well. Hopefully that will transfer even more luck this way. You coming in with the raid, bringing your luck with it. Ideally, we need all the help we can get. Would be nice. That sounds very fun. Who are you playing Icarus with right now? Do you usually play with Sprigleaf in most of the games? Because I know that I've seen you two together before. But regardless, I hope, yeah, you're having a good time with the game, since that's what's most important. And yeah, Safid, I've heard some pretty good things about Icarus. I mean, obviously Brain can probably say more correctly or with more confidence what the answer to that may be, but I've definitely heard some pretty good things. Oh my gosh, and we got a bone dragon. Thank you, Yared, our god of necromancy, finally coming in clutch here right when we need them most, giving us a bunch of the good stuff. Absolutely fantastic. In fact, I should almost retreat with this group and leave some of these stronger buddies parked upstairs so that we don't lose them in a stupid fashion like we have with the majority of our wonderful summons. Spriggan didn't make it today, but he met some new folks through Captain Dawn. It's nice, that's awesome. Meeting new people is always a whole lot of fun. Shaper, you had to hold yourself back from buying it on the most recent Steam sale.